Gamers, what's good guys? A lot of new decks came out with this latest set release, and I figured it would be nice to have a video with all of them showcased in just a single video. So for this deck showcase video, what we're going to do is I had people in my Discord send me different deck lists and replays for pretty much every single new deck that came out, including the decks that got support like Xeno Dinos and Dinomorphia. So what we're going to do is we're going to go deck list after deck list, and we'll show a replay after each deck list just to give you guys an idea of every single deck to showcase here. We are going to also go over the decks I already made deck profiles on because I just want to have like a nice all-encompassing video here. So that means like Super Heavy Samurai, we're going to cover Mannadium, we're going to cover Nemleria. And let's not beat around the bush here. Make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and let's get into it. All right, so the way we're going to order these deck lists today is we're actually going to start with the new decks, and then after we're going to do the decks that got support, such as Dinos, Mannadium, or Dinomorphia. We're also going to have timestamps for every deck, so if you're only interested in like 2 or 3 decks, you know, you can just skip around to whichever timestamps you prefer. And we're going to start with the worst deck today, which is Nemleria. Unfortunately, Nemleria is not great, and it's also a bit overly expensive, I would say, with having 3 of URs in the deck. I really feel like they should have made this deck dirt cheap because nobody's going to want to play this at this price. It's not a very good deck. This list is coming from Bidoof, and it's not to say that his deck building is bad necessarily. It's just that the deck is not amazing. The extra deck might look a little bit random here. Honestly, I just threw random rank 10s in here. You don't use your extra deck a lot. If you really want to like optimize Nemleria, you're going to run a bunch of rank 10s because your Nemleria boss monsters here, they're all level 10, so it's pretty easy to make a rank 10 in this deck. The general gist of this deck is really you're trying to empty out your extra deck to get the effect of Dreaming Nemleria going second, and I think it gets to just banish every, like pretty much every card. No, for every 3 of your banished face down card, you can banish up to 1 card from your opponent's field and or graveyard face down. So it's a really, really good field wipe, and then you shuffle all your banished cards back into your extra deck. So that basically makes it so you get to do this, maybe set it up again if you need to. You should not need to. This deck can go for game pretty easily. You can also set up a decent bit of control with a repeater here as well as a Louvre just to set some monsters using the effect of Dreaming Reality of Nemleria. It's not like the worst thing ever for going second. It's pretty fun. I would have built it if it was only 3 URs, but at 6 URs, I really don't think it's worth it. But anyway, let's get into that replay. All right, so let's see this Bidoof Nemleria replay in action, starting with the Fateful Adventure and the Dreaming Nemleria. We're going first, actually. That's surprising. I thought it was a second build, a going second build, but we're actually going first here. Okay, so we get to search our Draco back, search a Wandering Griffin Rider, discard the Draco back. Draco back triggers in the grave to equip itself to the Adventure token. Then we can go for Griffin Rider, special summon it, and our opponent is going to go Imperm on Griffin Rider. Okay, our opponent doesn't understand this game. We're going to go for Dreaming Nemleria, get ourselves our continuous spell, which allows us to banish 2 cards face down from our extra deck to search 2 of the Dream Defenders. Then we're going to go Foolish Burial to Foolish the Réveil. And we're going to special summon out the Couette, bring back the Réveil from the grave, Réveil, discard to set the Nemleria Répété. And then we're going to go for Pot of Prosperity, banish 6, and reveal 6 from the top of the deck here. Let me just fast forward through this. This shit takes way too long in this game. All right, grab a Maxi from the top of our deck here. So we have Répété, or I'm sure my chat's going to be mad at me, so whatever, Repeater. And our opponent's going for Clockwork Knight. We're going to chain Wandering Griffin Rider because we're not trying to get Kaiju'd out of the extra deck here. Then they're going to go for Clockwork Knight, banish from grave, discard the Overload to search a card from the deck. They're going to go for Cyber Emergency, add the Naxter, special Cyber Dragon, discard Cyber Dragon to special the Naxter. Naxter, bring back Cyber Dragon. We're going to go Repeater, send to the grave our Réveil to negate, and then they're going to go for a Therion King Regulus. So Regulus into our Dream Defender. We can just not have it be destroyed. And then they're going to go for a Cyber Dragon Seeger. They're giving us a lot of draws here. I don't know if that Seeger was worth the extra draw there, but whatever. And yeah, now we can just bring back the Griffin Rider, which we, funny enough, drew into. And yeah, I mean, from here, this is pretty much easy GG, right? We get to actually banish all their stuff with the Dreaming Nemleria from the extra deck. Once your extra deck is empty, you can trigger the Dreaming Nemleria and basically banish cards your opponent controls. 1 card for each 3 banished face down card you have. So yeah, we banished pretty much everything they had in the extra on the field and in the graveyard. Summon a bunch of bodies, go for game. simple enough. This deck, again, it's a really cool deck, and it's a pretty competent going second deck. I'm surprised they picked going first, actually, although I guess Adventure carried there. But yeah, really awesome deck. Let's move on to the next one. Next up here, we have a Gold Pride Punk deck that's a bit more focused on having a higher ceiling, whereas mine is a bit more focused on, you know, being able to go first or second. This one is going balls to the wall, having the absolute best board possible, and also running a more diverse synchro package with cards such as Navy Dragon Mech and Hyper Psychic Riser. I can't wait to showcase that stuff in action. Honestly, Gold Pride has really impressed me, even though I don't think it's like amazing or anything like that. I definitely think it's a tiered deck. It's really, really good. Unfortunately, not great at going second, so I guess in a way, putting all your eggs into the going first basket might not be the worst idea ever, because generally speaking, if you're not drawing the correct hand traps, going second in this current format is just really, really rough. A lot of it is droll or bust with the super heavy samurais running around. So I can definitely respect the approach of just going balls to the wall, running the Madame Spider, running the trap for the punks and stuff. Just a really cool deck list overall. I can't wait to show you the replay. All right, so let's get into this punk replay here, and let's see how it goes. Very curious to see Psychic Riser in action. Really want to see that. All right, so Foxy Tune effect, discard the other one, summon out the Z Amin. By the way, a lot of people are mad at me for calling her Z Amin. What do you guys call her? Zay Amin? I don't get, like, I don't know. Let me know in the comments what you call Z Amin. How do you pronounce it? I pronounce it Z Amin, but you know, a lot of people are giving me shit for that. Anyway, summon out the Shirakusai. With Shirakusai Z Amin, we fusion into the Rising Carp effect. And yeah, they're going to use their Ash Blossom. Thankfully, we have the Crossout Designator. That would be a pretty deadly Ash Blossom, not going to lie. But here we go. So Crossout Designator, negate the Ash, and then we get to summon out the Wagon as well as the Deer Note. Wagon effect, grab the Extreme Sessions, activate Extreme Sessions, then use these two here. We can go into our Jam Dragon Drive. We're going to go for Deer Note effect to bring back Ziamin, and we're going to go for Jam Dragon Drive here, probably dumping the Nyan Nyan, I'm guessing. Yep. Dumping the Nyan Nyan, Deer Note here, bring back the Ziamin, activate the Extreme Sessions to draw, and we can chain block the draw with Nyan Nyan, even though there's really no reason to. It just feels good to do, right? Nyan Nyan summon, then we get our draw into Leon. That's a pretty big draw. Go into Chariot Carry. Sorry for mispronouncing this one last video. I know a lot of people are mad at me for that. Grab ourselves a Gold Pride, Better Luck Next Time, and we dump the Nitro. So here we go. Gold Pride, Better Luck Next Time. Draw into Captain Carry. Summon out the search Captain Carry, I mean. Summon the Captain Carry. Search our trap. Special out the Leon. I guess we're going to use Leon for the Nitro head. I like that. That's really good. And Roller Baller. Wow, so we have full setup and we don't even need the trap. That's really interesting. And we get to summon, well, we have to summon another carry, get another draw, use Ziamin to get some extra attack on our Jam Dragon Drive. Really interesting turn one. Very, very Gold Pride focused. It looks cool though. I really like it. Really like it. All right, so in the standby phase here, we're going to summon a token, and they do just like me. They summon it right in front of the extra monster zone, but the opponent had Super Poly. They get to clear our extra monster zone, so that's pretty good. Going to battle here to beat into Leon, and then swinging into... Why did they... What? Why did you do that? Oh, to lower your life points. Damn, that's really interesting, actually. Really interesting. Not sure why we popped the token there, but fair enough. Gonna go for Better Luck Next Time yet again. They're gonna go for Dinomorphia Frenzy. Disgusting. Disgusting. Don't like it. Don't like it one bit. All right. Here's Kentragina. And then obviously, like, we can just fast forward a little bit here. Kentragina, do your thing. Kentragina, do your thing. Yeah. And then you can summon Rexterm, right? Summon the Rexterm. All right. Here it is. All right, perfect. So, what do we do about Rexterm? Well, we can pop it with the trap that we had this whole time, but they have the Supersonic Dinomorphia Sonic. Man, that was pretty cringe. Anyway, Dinomorphia Diplos is popped, and we get to banish a trap from the grave, and then we're going to go Called By on the Diplos. Damn, we just had everything. We just straight up had everything, but we still haven't outed the Rexterm, and their life points are really low, which is really scary. Really scary here. So how do we even deal with this? Summon out Leon. Oh, normal level 3. We get to summon Nyan Nyan from grave. Nyan Nyan and carry. Go into Psychic Riser. Let me read this damn card. Monsters with less attack than this card cannot attack. Also, neither player can activate the effects of face-up monsters on the field with more attack than this card. Is this card just straight up meant to... Like, this is just a counter to Dinomorphia. Straight up. That's really funny. If this card is destroyed by your opponent's card and sent to the grave, you can target one tuner and one non-tuner in your grave with the same type and attribute as each other. Add them to your hand. Okay. Honestly, that's kind of crazy. We're just negating Rexterm. Rexterm cannot activate here, but how do we out Rexterm after that? Psychic and Punisher. Oh, to just beat over it. Stop him from activating, and then we can just beat over it. Yeah, of course. Damn. That's really cool. Oh, well. Doesn't exactly... Well, wait, what happened there? Well, what does Sonic do? Oh, it's just for the damage? Okay, so they were just protecting from damage there. Get the trigger Diplos. Summon out the Diplos from the grave. Diplos dump. We take a little bit of burn here. It still feels like we could lose this, right? They could... Oh, they can't activate Kentrigina, but they can beat over this. And then they'll be able to. We get Psychic Riser to add back our Roller Baller, as well as Ziamine to our hand here. And then what else? Kentrigina effect. Banish. We're now in the 88 life points department. They get to pop the Psychic and Punisher. I guess they no longer had the Fusion Trap engraved to make another Rexterm. I see. So we go for Ziamine, pay the 600. Disgusting, bro. Our life points are so low. Gonna go Called By on Ash here. God damn, this is scary. Dude, look at these. Look at these life point totals. We got 275 down here and 88 over here. That's crazy. All right, these are some unique ass life point numbers. All right, so we get to add a Foxy Tune here, and then we're gonna go for Jam Dragon Drive, and we're gonna activate our Punk Extreme Jam Sessions, get ourselves a nice little draw here. Draw into Ogre Dance is whatever. They're just gonna scoop it up at this point because they ran out of interruption. That was a really good replay, really scary stuff. Yo, actually low-key, like Psychic Riser is kind of nice. I'm not gonna lie. Next up here from Mazinger, I know you guys are probably sick of seeing Super Heavy Samurai already, but we have a very different build here, running much more of a pure extra deck, running a lot of the Super Heavy Samurai Synchro monsters instead of just running Sarutobi. And honestly, this is still like a really, really solid way to play the deck. It's not like the deck suddenly becomes bad just because you're not running as much generic things. He's basically just letting go of the Sargus engine to make a 4-material Zeus, and instead running a bunch of honestly really good going second cards. In this build, you'll also run like the Soul Horns to be able to attack twice with the Masurawo. And Masurawo, you can also give him piercing by equipping him with a Soul Piercer, which makes it really easy for this card to get the kill. So yeah, it's not like this build is bad or anything like that. It might be a bit less optimal than running a bunch of generic stuff, but I still think it's cool to just get to see the actual Super Heavy Samurai Synchros in action instead of just seeing the same board you see pretty much every time. So with that being said, let's get into the replay. So we've got Soul Piercer, Nib, and we're going second here against Sword Soul. We're going to fast forward a little bit through Sword Soul here. Normal Moye. That never happens. We're going to chain Maxi to Moye, and they're going to go Called By on the Maxi, so you guys can't say that it was won by Maxi. Then they're going to go into a Shishao, and do they play into Nib here? They might, actually. They get a draw, they get a search, they grab themselves a long one summon. Here's a token, and we go Nib. Oh, cross out on the Nib? God damn. This guy had everything. Go into Baron de Fleur, and then we get to burn a little bit, and we pass on the good old Baron Shishao. Best board of all time, right? Here we go. Motorbike, search the Scales. Then they're going to go for Droll. Oh my god, we're playing through Droll here. Wait a minute. Scales, grab Motorbike. They're going to go for Shishao. And they still have their Baron de Fleur negate. That's kind of crazy, actually. Wait a minute. Okay, we get to go for Wakaushi. This works under Droll at least. But then they're going to go Baron on the Wakaushi. How the heck do we save ourselves here? I guess we can go into the Link 1, get a body on the field. No, we're going Peacemaker. Peacemaker can summon from deck, so that makes sense. Peacemaker, summon... Wait, I've never read this one. Wait, if all monsters control Super Heavy Samurai, you can target one face-up monster your opponent controls, send both it and this card from the field to the grave, then special summon from your extra deck one Super Heavy Samurai Synchro whose level equals the total original levels of those two monsters. This guy just went Super Poly Synchro on this guy. Wait a minute. Then we get to summon out the Susanoo. Susanoo is going to grab the Called By from the opponent's grave, set it to our field, and then we can actually, when it gets used, it's going to get banished. So it's not going to go in our grave or anything like that. Okay. Damn. That was really clean. Playing through Droll. Going for the Sword Soul of Taya here to get a token. Then we're going to go for Called By on the Vishda. Interesting. Yeah, he couldn't really use the Call By to stop the Taya here, so that totally makes sense. Then going into Baxia, and then they trigger the Taya dump here. That's totally fine. We get to go for the Wagon not the wagon, I mean the Susanoo, my bad. And we can grab the crossout from our opponent's graveyard, set it to our field. They're sending an Ashna. Ashna can't be triggered here, so we're just going to swing with the Baxia. We have super heavy Soul Piercer in hand, so we're going to go full combo next turn regardless. So here we go. Normal Soul Piercer and Scarecrow. Trigger the Soul Piercer, get a search the Wakaushi. We can fast forward a little bit here. Wakaushi, get to set up a scale. Then Scarecrow, discard Nib. They're going to go Imperm on the Scarecrow. We literally could not care less about that. Here we go. Wakaushi, get the Benkei, summon the Wakaushi. We get to search with Benkei, another Soul Piercer, trigger the Wakaushi effect. Oh yeah, we can actually use Wakaushi effect in this one. Bring back the wagon, get to search the Gaia, and opponent just scoops it up. Really clean, honestly. That was crazy, actually. That one that synchros, like using your opponent's monsters. I've never seen that card before. That's a really sick card. But anyway, let's move on to the next deck. All right, so now we're going to start covering the decks that got support. We're done with the new decks. And we're going to start with the Dinos. I know a lot of people are waiting for me to cover Dinos. This will have to do for now. I am trying to figure out a deck list that's very different from this one for myself. So, you know, I'll give you guys the sauce once I feel like the sauce is ready. But honestly, whatever build you play of Dinos right now, you're still going to be breaking sometimes, and it's still going to be rough into this format. Everyone's playing Droll right now, and Dinos just don't play very well into Droll a lot of the time. It's not like you have no plays, but sometimes you genuinely do have literally no plays, so it can be really rough. Also, shifters around, so like it's not the best format to be playing Dinos, unfortunately. But I'm still going to give you guys a deck profile. In the meantime, though, from our longest supporter on the channel, we have this Xeno, Transcend Drake, Scrap, Dino deck from Raptor, running a lot of like semi-garnets like the Chimera and the Frostosaurus, and not even making space for the Secure Gardna, which is like, it's just asking for trouble. Honestly, if I was you, I would just remove the Phoenix and put in a Secure Gardna. That card is a must play, but I'm going to leave the deck as is. It is Raptor's deck list after all, and that guy, he just likes to go for the highest ceiling possible, so it's definitely going to be really impressive. He's running pretty much all the Transcendric extra deck monsters, other than the absolutely unplayable Synchro, so I can't wait to see this deck in action. I mean, I love Dinos, you guys already know that. My list is going to look a lot different, but if you guys wanted another way to maybe play, you know, go for like the craziest board possible, a build like this is definitely not going to do you any wrong. With that being said, let's get into the replay. Whenever you see the scrap engine, that basically means if you get a good hand, you win the game, right? So let's see here. Yeah, of course. Double Fossil Dig, Petite Ground Xeno. Of course. So Fossil Dig is going to get met with Ash. That's funny because it's not once per turn, and also you want to keep your Ash for Misk pretty much every single time. But whatever. So Fossil Dig doesn't resolve. Cool. Here's my second one. Grab a baby here. Very risky to grab the baby there. I would have definitely grabbed the Misk just in case they had something for like a Droll or something. Anyway, so Ground Xeno, grab the Frostosaurus, pop the baby. Wow, not even grabbing the Meteorus. Interesting. Here's Ovi, search the baby, summon the baby. Ovi, pop the baby, bring back the other baby from the graveyard. Baby effect in the grave, summon a Scrap Raptor. Scrap Raptor, pop the baby. Baby effect, summon from the deck a copy of Petite Ranodon. Use these two, make ourselves a Scrap Wyvern. Now we're going to go for Scrap Wyvern effect, bring back the Scrap Raptor from the grave, and we get to pop the Scrap Raptor, trigger the Scrap Wyvern, trigger the Scrap Raptor. We now have an extra normal summon, and we can search from the deck. Also, we'll get to summon another Scrap Raptor from the deck with our Wyvern. So search the Scrap Chimera, summon the Scrap Raptor, pop the Petite Ranodon. Petite Ranodon effect triggers, summon out a Misk. Then we're going to normal out the Scrap Chimera, bring back the Scrap Raptor from the grave using the Wyvern as well as the Chimera. We can make ourselves a copy of Cross Sheep. And then we're going to use these two here in the on the field to make ourselves a Borlode Savage Dragon. Trying to get a negate on field as soon as possible here. We grab the Scrap Wyvern from the grave. We activate the Graveyard effect of Ground Xeno, and we can fusion summon into Gigantozauler. So then we get to trigger Cross Sheep, and we can trigger the Gigantozauler. Gigantozauler, I think, adds to our hand a copy of the baby from the grave. So add the baby from the grave to the hand, then Cross Sheep, summon from the grave a copy of Oviraptor. Now we can go for the graveyard effect of Miscellaneousaurus, summon out the Archosaur. Archosaur, pop the baby, grab the double evolution pill, then the baby is going to trigger in the grave, summon from the deck a copy of Giant Rex. Using all three of these, we're going to make ourselves a 3-material Appaloosa. Very strong. We're going to go for the double evolution pill here, banishing the Scrap Chimera and the Giant Rex from the grave to summon a UCT, which is also going to trigger the effect of Giant Rex in the banish pile to summon it back from the banish pile. Then using it as well as Soul Eating Oviraptor, we can make ourselves a copy of Lagia. So we have Lagia, Gigantozauler, Savage, Appaloosa, and UCT, as well as a baby in hand to pop. Our opponent is going to go for the Kaiju on... Yeah, Gamma Steel on Savage. Interesting. Going for Gear Town. Oh my god, we're playing against actual Ancient Gear. Going for Lagia here on the summon of Wyvern, and they just pass turn. Okay, interesting. We can fast forward here a little bit. We're just going to swing for game, I'm guessing. Yep, easy money. Nice to see these cards in action. Definitely a really cool deck. I'm still not super convinced on this kind of build, but I definitely think it's really cool. And shout out to Raptor for sending out a list, because I don't really want to cook with the scrap stuff. I'm not trying to like push the ceiling up of dinos. I just want to push up their consistency right now. That's what I'm more focused on. But I still really have a soft spot for this type of dino deck. Anyway, let's move on. Next up here from someone called G in my Discord. Sorry, like I don't know if like that's a glitch with your name or something. We have Dinomorphia. Don't have much to say about Dinomorphia. I don't like this deck. I really don't like it. I hate Rexterm. But they got a new counter trap, Dinomorphia Intact. This card is really good. It's just really good. It's a counter trap for monster effects, you know? So not only can they negate all your monster effects on the field, but now they also have a counter trap for one of your monster effects in the hand or in the grave. It's disgusting. I hate this deck. Anyway, let's go to the replay. All right, let's get this over with. Dinomorphia replay. Let's see Intact in action so we can move on to Mannadium. Okay, so here's Wannabe, Gravedigger's Trap Hole, Frenzy twice, and Soul of the Supreme King. Set 3, End Phase, Wannabe effect. Check out 5 cards on top of the deck. And are we setting anything? Yeah, that's the Intact. All right, there it is. There's the Intact. All right, set 4 pass. Going Soul of the Supreme King. Pay half your life points to summon Supreme King Zark. And now I think if they activate a spell, you get to summon a whole bunch of dragons from your extra deck or something like that. So here goes, and they go Magician Souls. That's not a great sign if you're trying to not activate spells. Anyway, so here we go. Gravedigger's Trap Hole on the Magician Souls, and we go for Dinomorphia Frenzy, of course. And they're going to actually Ash the Dinomorphia Frenzy, but hey, we had the Intact, so now we have a play around Ash, and here we go. From here, I guess it's just GG, right? Send Diplo, send the Stealth Bird, summon Cantragina. And all the stuffs get sent to the grave. They take 2,000 burn. We go for Cantragina effect, pay 500 life points, send some stuff to the grave, and here's Rexterm. Here they go. Normal summon the Magician Souls, set 1, go into Artemis, and they go to end phase. They can't really do anything here. Can't really do anything. If they activate a spell, they're kind of messed up. So yeah, here we go. Theresia, they're gonna go for Skill Drain actually. Whoa, Skill Drain. But we have big bodies, so Skill Drain isn't really doing much for us here. Eternal Soul, bring back Dark Magician. Hey, this Dark Magician player, he really tried, okay? I was rooting for that Dark Magician player. Anyway, shout out G. Dinomorphia. Moving on. All right, and let's end it off with not only a fan favorite, but potentially the best deck in the game right now, Mannadium. And shout out to Mazinger for this list. This is basically a more going second focus list, running Dark Ruler No More, running the Thrust, and also thanks to the Trisulta with Amritara combo, Prime Heart is actually a really strong OTK, and that's what we're going to be showcasing in the next replay. So thanks again, Maz. This deck looks so sick. This actually might look a lot like what my deck profile is going to be when I do cover the support in the coming days. Just really excited for this stuff. I really like this deck, by the way. Mannadium is super sick. All right, so let's see Mannadium going second. Supposedly, this replay is playing through a lot of interruption, so let's see what we have here. We've got Meek, Ash, Reichart, Obsession, and Planet Calarium going against Pearly. Damn, okay. So they're going to go for a Pearly Noir here, get themselves into the field spell, activate My Friend Pearly. Of course, you always Ash the continuous spell here. Wow, they were actually... What? They were out of place? Damn, that's actually crazy. Okay, so we're going to go Peaceful Planet Calarium. The opponent goes Max C. So I guess that's what he meant by a lot of interruption. He meant a lot of hand traps. We're going to go for Thrust. We're going to search ourselves the reinforcement of the army, summon out the Reichart. Reichart is going to search the Arrival. Then we can special out the Meek, activate Obsession, pop the Reichart, search our counter trap. Then we go Visa Starfrost, pop the Meek, summon Visa Starfrost, Meek effect, triggers in the grave, and we can trigger Calarium, bring back the Meek, summon another Meek from the deck. They go for Nibiru here, but Nibiru doesn't do much to Mannadium, especially not this early. So here we go for a Ryam Heart. They're going to go for Ash on Ryam Heart. That's pretty good. Then we're going to activate Scareclaw Arrival, bring back the Visa Starfrost from the grave, make ourselves a Cross Sheep. Then we can banish both the Reichart and the Starfrost to summon Astrolaud where the sheep points to. Astrolaud pop the Nibiru. Then we get to bring back our Meek from the grave, go into Trisukta effect, bring back our level 2 tuner from the grave here, make ourselves a Sprite Elf, and then we're going to go Sprite Elf, bring back the Meek yet again, use all of these to make ourselves a Prime Heart with 2 tuners, which means Prime Heart can swing up to 3 times and just go for game, clean it up like that. Nice and easy for the last replay. Super sick, playing through Maxi, playing through Nib, playing through Ash. Really sick, man. That's gonna about do it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed this deck showcase. Hopefully it's not too late and the interest hasn't already dissipated in all these decks. I definitely like having a video just showcasing all of the new stuff, just to give you guys like a little bit of an idea of what everything can do. And yeah, make sure, if you haven't already, make sure to leave a like. It helps me a lot. A comment as well. That helps a ton. If you don't want to do the algorithm stuff, thank you for checking out the video regardless. That's gonna be it for me. All right, guys. Peace.